Here we go. When these dads meet world, watching Boy Meets World. We grew up on the show, now we have kids and host a podcast. We watch each episode and then share our thoughts and grades. When these dads meet world.
They want you to take the roles.
They do. They want you to take the rolls, take some pizza as well. Hey, there's a salad bar, because it's college, Brett.
That's right. The food services love you when you take extra stuff.
They do. Not really. Some of them are okay with it. I will say, just a little tangent. You and I both went to school. We both went to the same college. I gotta say, it always depended upon who you're interacting with. Because some of the people are like, yes, I cooked. Take all of my food. And others are like, save some from someone else. So you never knew what you were going to get. But Brett, we're officially in the college years now. I'm staying on the edge of tomorrow, and it's only for me how far I go. All up to me how far I go. Dang it, I missed that.
There you go.
Brett, how are you? And
I'm good. I'm missing.
Are you ready
steak
for college?
Night. I'm ready for college. I miss steak night.
Steak night?
Steak night at Geneva. I don't know if they still had it when you were there. It happened every couple of months. You could only get one run through at the main counter for steak. You had a ticket. You had steak or chicken. You had to turn your ticket in for your steak or your chicken. Oh, I missed that. But anyway, I'm good. I just helped my parents move out of their place, all the big stuff yesterday. They got to move.
Nice.
So they're no longer living right down the street from me. They're going to live about 5 minutes away from me.
That's not bad.
So I helped move all the big stuff out of their place yesterday. Their appliances, their freezer, their washer, dryer, bed, couch, all that stuff. I did a lot of supervisory work and made Toby and one of my nephews do a lot of the heavy lifting. Taught them how to use an appliance dolly.
Good. They need to learn. It's time.
Yes. How are you doing, Tyler?
I'm doing good. Peek behind the curtain. It's a Monday. Mondays are typically now me trying to chill out days a little bit outside of doing my run. So I will pick a project or a room to this is my room. I'm going to focus on a little bit of cleaning, but I'm not trying to push myself too intensely. So Sundays are intense right now. But no, I'm good. I'm ready to get into the secondary level of education.
Ah, yes. Ain't college great?
Yes. I'm assuming you'll have plenty of thoughts, Brad, but there's so many things that are just why? And I think we need to get into that synopsis.
I think we do. On the first day of college, because this is episode 3, good looking people, we finally get to college. 2 months after last episode, 1 week after last episode. On the first day of college, an ambitious, I would say overly ambitious Cory, fills his schedule with tough courses, but quickly cracks under the pressure and flees to Mr. Feeney's side in Jackson Hole, Wyoming for help. Meanwhile, Eric tries to be more sensitive so that Rachel will be attracted to him. This episode was written by Jeff Manel, directed by William Russ. In the second of 9 episodes he'll direct. That's right, Alan Matthews himself directing again. Originally aired October 9th, 1998, 1 week after our last episode. Currently enjoys an IMDb rating of 7.7. That's 0.2 lower than our last episode, and is tied for 9th place on the season. And looking at our Nielsen numbers, last week's episode enjoyed a 12.42 when Cory finally proposed to Topanga after all of the hullabaloo. Tyler, how do you think we did with the first day of college?
Oh, I think we're still riding high in that 12 range, Brett.
All right, so give me a 12 range then.
I mean, if I have to be specific, I go 12.45.
Good. You'd still win the showcase. 12.57. We had a bump.
Nice.
Yeah. 1242 to 1257. We had a little bit of an uptick. I guess everyone was excited to see the first day at Pembroke, all the new sets and everything.
Nice.
So take it away, Tyler.
Okay. Sorry. I was looking at the date of release and I was like, I have something I need to look at and keep in mind, but I'm done. So anywho, we start, Brett, with the hallway of the dormitory that Cory and Sean are going to be living.
College.
Yes. Cory is very excited. But keep in mind, Brett, Cory has been talked to about college for, I don't know, I'm guessing since kindergarten when Feeney started teaching him. Like,
Oh, probably.
He's been told, if I go to college, I will be successful. If I go to college, I'll get a good job. I don't want to be a loser. I have to go to college. Now he's finally here, Brett. The hype is real, and he wants to experience life. And I love that
yes.
he even is trying to. He's trying to do episode 1 of each season, where he now. This is the version of me now, and Sean is having none of it. Sean doesn't want any of Cory's shenanigans. Like, we have officially hit peak grumpus Sean. Sean is going to stay in this mode of grumpy, like, I don't want to do what my friend wants to do energy until the end of the show, and including into Girl Meets World.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this scene, Brett?
I enjoy the interplay, the old man Sean energy that he has for Cory, especially when the pudding comes out.
You brought pudding to college.
My pudding trunk. Because it looks like that trunk is the only thing that Cory brought with him.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, gosh. No, the interplay between them, the Sean just being so indifferent to everything and wanting the chance to just slip by under the radar honestly, it's very real to Sean's character, and Cory being off the wall to the nines is very real to him. I mean, it's turned up to the nines, but
yes,
it's them in a microcosm, and I love the energy.
Yeah, nope, I agree completely. I love the Sean. Oh gosh, Sean's trying to be like, we need to be mature. We're in college. We're going to be serious, and Cory's just like, but I'm being me, and Sean's not having it. And I do have to say, Brett, living in dorms and whatnot, pudding is not the worst dessert/treat to have on hand as a college student. Like, as long as you have it like up and it's like in a spot where no critters can get into it, like, it's not a bad snack to have. There's plenty of worse things to have on hand.
Very true.
Yeah, dorm life is crazy. I gotta say, I've never seen a dorm room this big. I've seen apartments that big.
Quite sizable for a dorm room. And I know we're living in the hyper real world of Boy Meets World, and it is TV, but that is a pretty sizable dorm room.
I mean, I would say arguably, my dorm room freshman year is not too dissimilar from, dang Flabbit. I don't want to hear about NCIS right now. Gosh, I hate this website. Anywho, I might need a technical break if it goes off again. Anywho, so Brett, this dorm room that they have, spacing wise, is ridiculous because my living room is still bigger than my original dorm room, but also, like, there was 3 beds in there, 3 dressers, 3 armoires, all that jazz. So, like, 3 desks, 3 dressers / armoires, combined things, yada yada. So, it's reasonable that um, that spacing wise for a television show, they have to have it bigger, otherwise it wouldn't make sense. But realistically, their beds should be like this close to each other.
If
Like,
not bunked.
yeah, if not bugged. Essentially, if I remember correctly, when I moved in, if it wasn't for the fact that we were three up because we had two, my school over accepted people
Oh,
that
yes.
my year. And so traditionally you have bed, dresser, or bed, desk, and then dresser slash armoire, and it's up to you to decide where to arrange it. But it's basically you have this side, you have that side, and it's literally like, you know, a couch distance, it's not much.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a chair, really.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, so they have a very large room. I will say that we later on in the show we'll see Topanga and Angela's dorm room, which I think was just redressing of what Angela's bedroom was originally, but that's more realistic to what a dorm bedroom would be.
A little bit. It is a bit smaller, yes.
Um, but it's like Cory's bedroom uh, from home. Like they have to have this giant room for two boys.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Sean thinks that this is that this room is crap.
Well, it's too good. So instead of being beautiful, it sucks.
He has
Yes.
been living in an apartment with a much more spacious living area for the last year.
Yeah, that's true. Little cushier, maybe.
A little bit.
But Alan, Amy, and Morgan, they walk in and they're saying goodbye to Cory. Apparently, they didn't have this much of an emotional goodbye to Eric, which we know is not true because they had a very emotional goodbye with him. And
Yes.
partially why Amy was so upset when he came back that day.
Yes, because she had to say goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
And he's already back home.
Yeah. I mean, this is okay. This is one of the problems that we both have with this show. They get all, we have to say goodbye. But literally, if you're 20 minutes away from home, are you really saying goodbye?
Yeah, because Pembroke is not that far away from the suburb they live in.
Right.
I mean, Cory can go over to Sean's apartment pretty much anytime he wants, and the apartment is close enough to campus that it's established that it can double as campus housing if needed.
Right.
Because because Eric and Jack live close enough to campus to go to campus anytime.
But
And I mean, it was close enough to campus to pretend to be a frat for an episode.
yeah.
So I mean, they're not that far from Pembroke. 20 minutes would be probably the extreme distance.
Yeah. But Brett, we have two college girls interacting with our guys, Topanga and Angela.
Yeah, they found some cute college guys.
Mm-hmm. Did you notice how Sean and Angela's greeting is kind of cold?
It is, yes. I wonder if
Yeah.
that'll play out for some reason.
Well, yeah, that. But I mean, it just feels like the shift from the arguments that occurred with the whole Cory and Topanga thing. I think it has impacted Angela and Sean a little bit more than what they're realizing.
Yeah, we've had a whole 2 months for them to work through or not work through that whole. They're not like us. They're madly in love.
Uh-huh. Which is hard to hear when someone has professed love for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not that dissimilar. I had a friend in college who apparently was giving a groomsman toast and said, "I hope someday I find someone as amazing, or I find love as amazing as you and your spouse." And his girlfriend was sitting there front row. They didn't last.
Oops.
Yeah, but they decide to explore the dorm, and they discover that there's a co-ed bathroom. Brett, scandalous.
Oh, yes. In college, girls are called co-eds.
Yes. Which I mean, Yes.
Yes, but
Right.
co-ed means both.
Yeah. I love how guy walks in and goes, man, she's butch.
Which,
We really okay.
oh,
We
dumb
really
Cory.
have comedian Cory returned. Like we're almost kind of back a little bit of season one, that first couple episodes of season 2 Cory, you know?
Yeah, this is our real soft reboot for the season.
Yes. It really is.
This is really our season premiere.
It really is. Like the vibe is completely different. We have new sets. There's no foofy there.
Yeah, bye, Foofy.
Yeah. they, they go the same way. Just like Ally McBeal. Just like Ally McBeal.
And Cory just got comfortable going in front of guys.
So much sadness in that sentence right there, Brett.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it now. Cory has some problems and is ignored.
Yes.
And
There is not any sympathy extended Cory's way at all by any of his
right.
friends.
Like there's a part of me that wish he would have made a friend in college, like outside of his core friends, because
Yeah.
he's in all classes with his core friends.
Where's
And I kind of wish
Lionel?
right, I kind of wish you would have had like a friend to be like, hey, your friends aren't very supportive of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because college is a place for tough conversations, Brett, and Cory doesn't always get that with his bestest friends ever.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a little bit of a toxicity there that just does not help at all.
Yeah. But we transition Brett to the red couch apartment.
Yeah. Are we
Apparently,
transitioning there already? No, we got to
yeah,
go through
because
registration first.
no, because they yeah, going to the guys, to the course guy last night. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. They transitioned quickly over to registration. They're only there for like 3 seconds. They're like, "Hey, intro, 101," and
Yeah.
Cory's like, "I was looking through the course guide, and I think I know exactly what I want."
Yeah, this is more of Michael Jacobs doesn't understand college. I don't know of any university that just has an open field day on registration the day
That
before
doesn't make
classes
sense.
start.
Right. And there are specific classes designed for incoming freshmen,
That were
incoming students.
required.
Yeah.
When you are accepted, you're handed your first handful of classes that you
Right.
have
Well,
to
and I was
take.
going to ask you, Brett, when you were accepted and when you went to orientation, what happened? Did you just say? Did they just hand you a schedule? Say this is your freshman year schedule.
Oh, yes, totally. I was handed a schedule. In fact, I had a class on my schedule I was not required to take for my major. I did not have a math requirement, but I was stuck in a statistics class because I had an open slot in my schedule and there was an open seat in the class. So someone thought, "Hey, this youth ministry major could use a statistics class." And I withdrew from that class after a few weeks.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. No, I literally went
Yeah.
to summer orientation. I was handed my schedule because at that time you were able to like it was like a special thing. I was like, hey, uh, here are the general like classes you have to take. Here are some optional classes. Like, what optional classes might you be interested in?
Mhm.
And you just fill out the information, and then you get the schedule. And literally, the head of the department looks at me and goes, hey, you a science major or are you a ministry major? And I said, ministry major. He goes, do you see this class you have right here? Yeah. Don't take it now. Take it later. I went, okay.
There you go. Yeah,
So
Abby's doing her courses. She's looking at courses she's got to sign up for now because she'll be starting this fall, and she's got classes that she is required to take as a freshman.
mhm,
There's no way Cory's going to be able to just skirt by this and not take any intro level courses. He's got
yeah,
to have classes he has to take.
right. Well, and so many. college classes, especially freshman classes, will be like a lecture style class. They'll be like in an auditorium. So
Mhm.
there's always room. Like you'll never be able to fill an auditorium.
Oh, no. No, there's
It's
no way that he can't get into some 101 level courses.
yeah, one-on-one courses with a lab or a discussion class that's separate. That's
Yeah.
different.
Hmm. But I think we're getting ahead of ourselves there.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. Cory ends up apparently seeing a what is it?
Oh, it's existential thought and its impact on physics.
Yes. But then we go to the red couch. Sorry, I was going a little bit ahead. But apparently the three of them are getting ready to go somewhere. They don't make clear where.
Oh,
Technically,
they got to get over to registration before Hooked on Phonics fills up.
oh, again, their class should be set. You do that the semester beforehand.
Yeah.
Why does no one understand college?
Oh.
So I'm just gonna assume they're gonna go out for
I know
lunch,
it's
Brent, because
I know it's
that makes way more
1998,
sense in my
but
head.
I know this was 1998, and we're talking from the reference point of, at least for me, college in 2001. But even a 3-year difference, there's no way this is how an institution with 5,000 incoming freshmen handled their registration process.
Yes.
No.
Well, keep in mind, Brett, we'll literally just discover there's one guidance counselor for the whole school in college.
For you got to figure minimum 15,000 students.
Yeah. I mean, heck, even with our school, like, there's at least still hundreds per class. So, I mean, you got at least 1,000 people roaming around. Like, that's not manageable for one person.
Yeah, there were about 1,600 on campus when I was there. So,
Yeah. So, anywho, they're about to leave, but Rachel is apparently having a rough day. And Rachel is apparently what her boyfriend used to call her. Very romantic, this ex-boyfriend of hers.
Oh, yes. Yes. And Rachel is definitely not living in the past and not romanticizing the past at all.
Hmm. I mean, I will say, Brett, a few months, like, I think Rachel was like, yes, I'm happy I did this. I'm happy I moved on, but she's probably had time to reflect and think. And now classes are about to start back up again. So she's like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, and it's a natural regression for anyone who's been through that type of a breakup. You've had a couple of months during the summer to get through. You don't have to think about anything. You're not going back to classes. But now you're going back to school where all of a sudden, hey, yeah, I did give up a lot to come here to be with someone who's no longer here.
Mhm.
And
Well,
yeah, it's natural. So there you go.
it's also she's gonna run into people that she was friends with, her ex as well, and they're gonna ask, oh, how are you? And you made the right choice by moving in with those two guys. So
Hmm.
I'm sure there's plenty of turmoil that she's worried about going back to. And
Yeah.
we can assume that she's also a sophomore, maybe
It'd be a
at a
safe
minimum.
assumption. Yeah. I
Yeah.
would say it's a safe assumption because I mean, at the end of next season, she and Jack and Eric are all getting ready to graduate and leave at the same time. So I would assume sophomore.
Yeah. Oh, so yes, so she's having some emotions. Eric is apparently not sensitive. He used to be. He's no longer
What?
sensitive. Yeah, I love that.
What?
Like he's greeting his brother.
Eric does not have Jack's keen sense of observation.
Yeah, I do love that. Yeah, so Jack is being very sensitive and he's listening and hearing her out. But then Eric brings home the joy, Brett.
He
And please
does.
tell me you clipped it.
I did not clip the Little Bunny in the Woods.
Oh,
No, Little Cabin in the Woods. I will say I learned a slightly different version of Little Cabin in the Woods, but
and you're gonna sing it for us now?
let me see how it goes. I'm blanking on the first line now. It's only the last line that's different. Little cabin, a man by the window stood, saw a rabbit hopping by, knocking at his door. Help me, help me, help me, he said, before the hunter shoots me dead. Come, little rabbit, come inside, safely to abide. There we go. Yeah. That's the version I learned.
I did not know that was a real song.
Oh, yeah. It's like an old camp song or something.
Mm-hmm. It was just funny because my whole life until today, or the day I researched this the thing, I thought it was just something Eric made up. They just they both knew it, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, that's like an old camp song. Yeah.
I love the return that Rachel has, that she's so happy and excited, and Jack is grumpy and miserable.
Why couldn't that work for me?
It's I think it's just a hunter trait that they're just grumpy and miserable people.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be it.
Yes, but yes, we go back to registration, Brett. Apparently, Cory is done registering. He's got his books, and he bought everyone a Pembroke shirt. Go Penguins!
Go Penguins!
And of course, his best friend, his quote-unquote soulmate person, just is disgusted by him.
Never do that again.
Right. Does Sean actually like Cory? Because I don't know if he does.
And this, Sean, this one is also in line with Sean's character, though, because Sean never really got into school spirit. Like, we never saw Sean rallying for the team or even wearing any John Adams High apparel for school spirit or anything like that. But still, this is very harsh towards Cory.
It is.
Yeah.
But they're kind of making fun of him because he's taking classes that he does not understand. He won't understand. I don't know. This kind of sounds a little bit like, Pitt offering classes on vampirism.
Yeah, they are. What was the one? I'm trying to look it up here because I didn't write it down. But let me see if I can bring it up here. I have to say, took in quantum physics makes me laugh. Theoretical calculus just sounds made up.
Yes. I mean, I will say, some institutions legit have classes that you're like, why is anyone taking this class? What does it have to do with getting a job someday? Yes. Why are people going into debt to take this class? Basket weaving, bowling, all those type of things.
Yeah.
I did a class called Ultimate Frisbee as a gym credit. Why I had to do a gym credit? 3 of them.
I don't know why I needed a gym credit. I took weightlifting for a gym credit. That was one of the easiest gym credits I ever took. One of the easiest classes I ever took. You just show up and lift.
I would have enjoyed
Show up and lift once a week, man.
Yes. But Cory immediately finds the professor and he goes, "Hey,
I have this clipped.
Go for it."
I do. Yes. Here we go.
Excuse me there, Professor. My friends seem to think that I've taken on an impossible load with quantum physics and that I'm going to have some trouble understanding the course material.
Well, I could give you a brief synopsis and you can decide for yourself. On the first day, we start off with... and then we focus on... Excuse me, we have a staff meeting.
Everything's fine.
I do enjoy that. And those two professors, the first one he talks to, the physics professor, is played by Keon Young. Only appearance on Boy Meets World, 281 acting credits.
Wow.
on productions such as Kojak, The Jeffersons, Magnum PI, 21 Jump Street, Family Matters, MacGyver, Star Trek DS9, Mad About You, Murphy Brown, Baywatch, Dude, Where's My Car, Justice League, the animated series, Star Trek Enterprise, Jag, Will and Grace, Teen Titans, House, Alias, True Blood, Teen Titans the animated series, True Blood, Archer, Squid Game, and a lot more. And the other one he talks to is actually writer Bob Tischler from this show, who wrote our previous episode.
Interesting. I will say, when you're a freshman in college, there are professors that sound like this, who they are, for lack of better wording, they've studied so much and are so used to certain words that they forget that most freshmen coming in have never heard that word, let alone the next 15 words that they say. And so you'll sit there and you'll go, what? What did this really smart, very white bearded man say? I'm sorry. Are you speaking a different language?
Oh, yes.
Yes. I will say real quick, I had, so because we went to an institution that was a Christian school, we had to take a Bible class as part of freshman. Every single freshman has to take this Bible class. And so after like the first week, the professor of the first lecture goes, hey, just so you know, there are two of us that do the lectures. I do Monday and the other professor does the Wednesday. Do not get confused. You're not crazy. We're two different people. And you sit there after he says it and you go, well, no, I would have. Nope, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I had that Old Testament one at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, that was rough.
Oh, yeah.
Many classes I missed.
Yeah, I missed more than I should have.
Yep. Honestly, 8 o'clock classes are evil.
They're the spawn of Satan.
Yes, we get to my least favorite scene, Brett.
Yeah, I'll just say, I'll get this out of the way. Guidance counselor Myron. Mark, I'm going to spell his last name because I'm not sure how to pronounce it, and I'll take a shot at it. Tymchysyn. Tim Chisholm.
Sure.
It's only time he'll show up on Boy Meets World. 61 acting credits. Newhart, Dallas, MacGyver, Law and Order, Seinfeld, Grace Under Fire, Dharma and Greg, Chicago Hope, ER, Party of Five, The Drew Carey Show, CSI, Monk, Cold Case, last seen on camera in 2014. This is not a great guidance counselor.
No, but let's establish something, Brett. There are no such thing as college guidance counselors.
There are not.
You have, for those that don't know, you have an advisor, someone who is assigned in the department of the major you have. If you are undecided, undeclared, you are still assigned an academic advisor. The academic advisor will sit down with you and go through, hey, here are your classes, here are the things you need to consider. Does someone else normally prep them ahead of time so that way you can move things faster? Absolutely. But their goal is to help you get the classes you need and get you out the door. One professor, that was one of our heads of department, he was big on get you out as fast as possible. If that means graduating you in 3 years, let's graduate you in 3 years. 3.5 years, let's do it. We should probably take some summer classes or even a quick December class. All for it. The other one would be like, hey, you're in school, get yourself a minor. Why not? It's not going to hurt you. So it's ridiculous he'd go to a man who has no power that's not real, Brett. Because if he went to his academic advisor would be able to help him and advise him on what to do to move forward.
Yes, but we live in
It-
Michael Jacobs' world where he doesn't understand how college works, and this
yes.
is the officer who is in charge,
Yes,
apparently.
but even in like high school, Brett, I had times because yes, the guidance counselor oversaw schedules and whatnot. So if I had a class that I didn't like the teacher, whatever, if I had an elective class I needed to get out of, I could go to guidance counselor or even the principal and just say, "Hey, I have a problem. This is my issue," and they could either say, "Hey, just keep trying, see what happens," or they say, "All right, yeah, sure." I mean, my senior year, I did absolutely nothing, Brett. So if I came in and said, "Hey, this elected class, I don't want to do it anymore," he'd be like, "Okay, what are you gonna do instead?" Um, yeah, but even in college, you have the right to drop any and all classes, and
Yeah.
there's always room for someone else. Also, many a times I've seen professors been gone to directly and asked, "Can you fit one more student into your class?" And quite often, Brett, and say it with me, they would help.
Help.
I didn't set you up well for that joke.
No, but that's okay. I can see where you're going. Yeah, Myron sucks. He's now granted. Cory is he's gotten himself in over his head. And now let's play this out and pretend that Myron is his academic advisor. Let's
Yep.
just pretend that that the writing staff has the wrong terminology.
Yeah. Let's just rewrite it ourselves, Brett, in headcanon.
Let's headcanon that he's actually his academic advisor, not a guidance counselor. Let's just put that label on him. Myron
Yep.
still sucks at his job.
Yes.
Be just telling him that, hey, you know what? A third of college freshmen flame out and don't finish their freshman year. Maybe you're not one of the ones to make the cut. That might be a harsh reality that someone needs to hear. But on the first day, when you haven't done any work to try and help the kid, you suck at your job.
Yep.
There's with a school the size where there is an incoming class of 5,000 freshmen, there is no way that all of their 101 and intro level courses are completely full up.
Correct.
There is no way Cory can't drop all of these courses and carry a minimum full-time student load of intro level classes.
Yeah. I mean, he's saying this is college, the real world. It's not the real world.
It's not.
It's
This
college.
is a transitional state world. You can get a job and go to classes, but you're still going to classes primarily.
Yeah.
This is not the real world.
Cory is
Myron.
trying to do what Eric did. It's just in the reverse, Brett, where he was in the class he needed to be in, and he wanted the dean of students to override a professor's decision and give him an extension on a paper. And Cory is trying to go to an advisor and be like, "Help me fix this," and the advisor just goes, "No."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh no, those are all filled up. Did you look?
Yeah, I didn't see him turn to a computer or a spreadsheet. He just assumes they're all filled up.
No. I mean, of course, Brett, let's be honest. A little bit more now than even in 1989 or 1998, but college is still a business.
Mm-hmm.
After your tuition check and room and board check go out and your financial aid is given to the schools, some schools don't care. Some of the people that work for the schools don't care. You've paid, that's all that matters. Not everyone, especially a lot of the professors, but there are some that, they've done their job. They're going to get paid. That's all they care about.
Yep. I think Cory needs to go see the dean.
I think so. Dean Bolander, find her. She cares.
Yep. But instead, where does Cory go?
Jackson Hole.
That's right.
You failed me, Mr. Feeney, several times, I believe. You didn't prepare me for college. You didn't prepare me for life. But we're way over my head. It's good to see you, Mr. Matthews.
I love that first retort from Feeney. Several times, I believe.
Mhm. I gotta say though, Brett, why did Feeney go all the way to Wyoming?
I
What's
don't
in
know.
Wyoming for him?
I really don't know why they chose Jackson Hole for him.
It's not even a real place.
Yeah. Like why retire from Pennsylvania to Wyoming? You know, why not why not somewhere like uh, Arizona or somewhere with some real history to it, you know?
Florida.
Or the traditional Florida.
The standard teacher's retirement.
Yeah. Or even somewhere with some real history to it. But Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
I mean, even if he went back to Boston, because that's where he's from, that would make sense.
Yeah. Go back to Beantown. But Jackson Hole, Wyoming? No.
Yeah.
But then we wouldn't have met all his colorful boys. You got boys? Yeah. But we'll meet Ned. I'll tell you about Ned.
Yeah.
Ned's played by William Wyndham, and I always knew he looked familiar to me. It wasn't until I read through his IMDb where I recognized him from. It's the only time we'll see him on Boy Meets World. 257 acting credits. This man worked in Hollywood. The Donna Reed Show, The Lucy Show, The Twilight Zone, Wild Wild West, the original. I recognized him from Star Trek. He played Commodore William Decker in an episode of Star Trek, a very, very popular episode of Star Trek, and that's where I recognized him from in the 60s. Bonanza, Mod Squad, That Girl, All in the Family, Columbo, Gunsmoke, Hawaii Five-0, Dallas, Fantasy Island, Knight Rider, Magnum P.I., L.A. Law, Batman the Animated Series, Murphy Brown, Ally McBeal, Jag, and so much more. He did pass away in 2012, but this man had a long career in Hollywood.
Cool.
Yeah, we get to meet Feeney's boys, and it's nice. I really am curious what program would have given air miles out for pudding labels.
I mean, Brett, it was the 90s. There were all sorts of competitions.
I know
Someone won a plane, Brett, from Pepsi.
I know. It's curious to me. I'm curious what airline would have done that, you know? We're talking American, Southwest, Continental.
Could have been any of them, Brett. You know that.
Yeah.
Could have
Startup.
been any of them.
Was it Dexter?
Okay.
I do like that Cory shows some genuine interest in Mr. Feeney's day.
Yeah.
And he's not just there mocking him, that he's really interested in he's really excited to see him.
Yes. All right. Yeah. So as he is berating him, he talks about how the pudding label has got him to Omaha, and then he busts from there. That's only a couple hours on the road.
Only, yeah.
Time is, a weird thing in Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
Apparently, he chatted with a Native American and a military guy. Casino good, government bad.
Government bad, yes.
Oh, militia guy. I read that wrong. Militia guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting situation. But yeah, Feeney says that he wakes up when he feels like it. He gets breakfast with the boys. They decided to go fishing, so they went fishing. Apparently, the fish don't bite really there.
No. We'll find out that Feeney hasn't seen a single fish since he got there.
Yeah, which makes you wonder, Brett, how are they maintaining that area? Because you wouldn't keep fishing in a place if there wasn't fish.
From the looks of it, I didn't see any other areas there that they could fish from. I think they just used the poles as an excuse to go sit there and do nothing all day.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't understand, Brett.
But Cory loves it. You do absolutely nothing in retirement. There's no way to screw up anything. It's the next best thing to being in a coma.
Yeah, Cory's excited for him. Brett, we get to one of my favorite Eric bits. Dramatic
Yes.
Eric.
Oh yes, I've got a little
He's
bit
tapping
here
into a
and
little bit of that
there.
Shakespeare Eric.
Yes, I've got a little bit here where he talks to Jack, and I've got the actual bit there. So,
Please.
What are you doing? Hey, shut your cake hole, Irene. I'm sensitive, all right? Rachel's gonna come back here. She's gonna see how sensitive I am, know that I'm all man and not half man like you're sorry, Tushy.
Congratulations, man. You're officially in the Idiot Hall of Fame.
That hurts me, but I understand where it's coming from, and it's okay.
Eric, you're trying to change who you are just to get her to like you. She's gonna see right through that, man.
No, she's not. She's gonna come back and fall for me and fall deep into my trap of sensitivity.
All right, as your friend, I'm begging you not to make a fool out of yourself.
All right. As a friend, I'm begging you not to make a fool out of yourself. Huh? How was that, man? It's like looking in a mirror, huh? It's face-off. Eric, Jack, Eric, you don't even know who you are anymore.
Hey, guys.
Hello, Rachel.
Such a great turn.
oh, it is. I love Eric's manic energy. Is just, I love it. I do. It's just so ridiculous.
Okay, Eric's storylines are always, for lack of better wording, better than Cory's. There's a purpose behind it. There's a reason to it. There's a true story, and Cory just doesn't have it.
Yeah, but I really
Hello,
love
Rachel.
that. I really love that he's laying out everything for Jack here, and it just keeps getting more and more intense and more ridiculous until he's ripping off the plot from Face Off.
Yeah, I love the face. You don't even know who you are
anymore. And then we have his whole soliloquy.
Hello, Rachel.
Eric, what's the matter?
It's the children. It's the children.
The children? What children?
No, all of them. They're so little, you just... Please don't make me go on. 'Cause the world is a melancholy place where human relationships must rise to the forefront of our too brief experience on this insignificant swirling blue orb until we're extinguished like a flickering flame. Ow, that hot.
Oh, that hot.
I've seen so much.
Ow, that hot.
That's been in both of our lexicon for a very long time.
Oh,
Yes. We've both been doing something side by side, and I've heard one of us say it and the giggle, the other one ends up accidentally saying it. Like, so good.
It is.
Can I say, Brett, this is just a little side note here, but I wish Will Friedle would have taken a shot. I think we talked about this before, but I really think he should have taken a shot at some stage work. I think he would have been really good at it.
I think so too.
So
I really wish he would have
spent some time on Broadway. I think he would have done a really good job at it. But I get he has his little lane. Not his little lane. He is really good at voice acting, 100%. Yes, but just some of the stuff
he found his niece.
Yeah, niche.
I don't know.
But just some of the as we're rewatching this, I keep thinking to myself, gosh, like I wish the actor would have believed in himself more as I believe in him. That's all I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe someday he'll get the itch.
Maybe the niche,
huh?
Niece. But Brett, it's the children, all of them. Please don't make them go on.
Yes.
I love Rachel immediately realizing what he's trying to do and just be like, Oh, that's so sensitive. Why don't you go with me to the laundry room? And Eric's like, yes.
Oh yeah. She's quick on the uptake. She knows what's going on. And whereas in the last episode, I did not like how they handled it, and I still don't like that they're competing for her. They did a much better job of making it entertaining this episode.
Oh, yeah. Yep, exactly. Again, he's still being dramatic and emotional as he leaves and is out the door
She do.
until he she do until he turns and goes, dude, this is her bra.
Yeah.
But Brett, we go back to Jackson Hole. Apparently, we got a new boy, Walter.
Walter.
Hey,
yeah.
who plays Walter, Brett?
Walter is played by Ben Sandwich. Ben is the first and only time he'll show up on Boy Meets World. He has one acting credit to his name, and it's this episode. Now, we got Walter is actually Cory's name because Cory is too young a name to be here. And he's apparently spent the whole weekend here being indulged by Mr. Feeney because he's running away and hiding from all the trouble that's back home in Philly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm assuming that Feeney has called back home at this point, or at least forced Cory to make a phone call.
Someone did because Topanga knew about Walter.
Uh-huh. So I also wonder if when Cory did not come back to the dorm and also talk to his girlfriend or his fiance, they got a little worried about him.
Yeah, what was his long-term plan? Retire early and not get married?
I don't think he had a plan. He was having a mental crisis.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't think
Brett,
that one through.
if this was real life, there'd be a documentary about the young man who ran away from home and went to Wyoming and convinced his teacher, his high school teacher, to come back and teach in college now.
Oh, yes. There would be so much fertile ground for a documentary here in the world of Boy Meets World.
Mm-hmm. But I like that George is kind of being clear on, like, Cory's too young to be here. I'm too young to be here. Like, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I hoped for.
He was not ready to retire. Yeah. He just thought he was supposed to.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and I get it. He's been serving in scholastics for over 40 years. He has the right to retire, but, completely changing his life, that can be intense and hard to do.
Mm-hmm. But he wasn't ready to, and he's just coming to the realization that he's not ready for this life yet.
Agreed.
So they're going to go back to Philly.
Yes, he's dragged back to Philly, apparently. I'm assuming Feeney is footing the bill to take him back.
I'm assuming so, because he used up all his air miles.
Yeah. I have to imagine the difference between going to Wyoming and Omaha is not that big of a difference, so he probably should have been able to make it all the way there. But whatever, Brett, this is why we don't put people all the way in Wyoming instead of just somewhere simpler.
Yeah. They probably weren't thinking that far ahead when they were having him retire to Jackson Hole last season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's fair to say I think they may have thought that they would allow Feeney to retire and maybe kind of write him kind of out of the show a little bit. But then they realized that the show works best with Feeney, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe they were just thinking they would pull a Fresh Prince and just kidnap Feeney and say, your contract says you have to be here.
Yeah, it could be.
Yes. We get to a very weird and I don't really like this scene, Brett. Because
it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. That's a good way to put it. Because Rachel is playing up the so sensitive and so funny, she must have him.
She wants to smoosh.
Yeah, she wants to smoosh. And Eric kind of comes to his senses, like, this isn't what I want.
He doesn't want the NikNik Cut.
Yes, he does not want the NikNik Cut. Apparently, he would be fine with a romantic Fleabag motel.
But not the laundry room and not like this.
Yes.
But credit to him for realizing halfway through his speech that that he wants Rachel to be herself.
Yep.
And if he wants to be in a relationship with her, he wants her to be her.
Right. And this is a great friendship moment for the two of them. Of in order for us to be friends and be roommates, you have to be you and I need to be me. And that's our relationship. Like, let's not try to be people that we're not.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like how it ends, especially because Eric realizes that she can throw him around a little bit, and he thinks
put me
it's
back
funny.
on the dryer. I'm hot. Are you hot? Yeah, the dryer's on fluff. Yeah.
Okay, then we get Brett to bring your grandpa to school day because Feeney's there trying to convince the guidance counselor again.
I don't think we needed Myron and Feeney to be related.
No, but it just adds another joke on top of it. You know, it's an
And
F plus. An F plus situation.
The joke comes first there.
Of course. Yeah. So apparently he's blaming him because he didn't prepare him. Yada yada. I mean, I love of all my nephews. I hate you the most.
It's a great line.
Yeah, mother will be calling you.
Oh. Sassy Feeney on the way out the door.
Yes, a lot of sassy Feeney. But I think they have a good heart-to-heart on, where they both are right now. And I like that Cory is very direct and, I might not remember everything you taught me in your classroom, but I remember the example.
And I did clip their heart-to-heart.
No, Mr. Feeney, the most important things that I learned from you have nothing to do with the courses that I'm taking here in college anyway.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, what I learned from you was mostly about life and how to make friends and how to help and support the people you care about.
That's what you taught all of us. How you doing, Mr. Feeney?
Howdy.
Thank you for bringing my Walter home.
Hi. Listen, I'd love to chat, but Mr. Feeney and we gotta start studying for quantum whatever it is I signed up for.
Here.
What's this?
It's your schedule. You have 2 classes with me and 3 with Sean. I figured you'd want it that way.
I don't get it. How'd you do this?
Well, we each signed up for an extra class.
And then we dropped one.
And signed you up instead.
And then we got your books and returned them for the right ones.
You... How'd you know to do this?
Hey, we had the same teacher you did.
They can't do that, Brett. You can't sign someone up for a class.
No, it's a great moment, but you can't work. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
It's a good scheme, but you can't sign someone else up for a class.
No, you can't.
It's dumb. It's dumb. But I love the heart-to-heart of Cory and Feeney. That's the major thing I want to talk about, Brett, because, I was having a conversation a few weeks ago with one of my teenagers, and I said, the funny thing is for me, I remember absolutely no messages my youth pastor ever gave me, but I remember the most learning based on how he interacted with his kids, and how he dealt with the things in life and the hardships I watched him walk through. And I said, those are the things I will always remember and take to heart. So I just kind of said, I hope if you don't remember any of mine, take some of this stuff to heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hope to meet them again someday.
And someday you may. Yeah, it's always great to find out just what kind of a legacy you leave with people.
Mm-hmm.
It's never what you think it is.
I agree. You never know who you're going to be forced to be in a long-term friendship with, Brett?
Nope, never do.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I love that Cory immediately wants to get Feeney back involved in his studies, and all of them are very thankful for Feeney, and you can tell in this moment of their appreciation, especially with Sean being in school.
Yes. Yeah. And Feeney was ready to hop back in and help tutor Cory.
Yeah. I I do love Brett that I didn't think about this beforehand, but they're wearing different clothes as they go back into the apartment. So they may.
This is a different day, I'm assuming.
Right. It has to be a different day. It has to be. So either they went down and got different clothes and came back or whatever, but like they are coming back upstairs and she's saying, I do have it, or he's saying, I do have a sensitive side, And she's like, can I have my bra back, please? Like, nope. Yeah. Word of advice: good looking people. No one should ever be holding your bra. That's the best way I can put it. And no panty raids.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah. So they go back into the apartment, and Jack is riding around on a tricycle, wearing a clown costume.
Yes, he is.
They both agree. Laundry room.
Excuse me.
One of my favorite lines. Next time, ask before you borrow my bike.
Yes.
As he snuggles with his bike as he walks out the door.
Oh, yeah.
But Brett, that ain't college great.
Yes, it is.
Gosh.
So, do you have any deep dives for us, Tyler?
Yeah, let's get into it.
People. Am I the only one who read the summer reading list?
Okay, so a flight from Philadelphia to Omaha, Brett, is, depending upon which way you travel, anywhere between apparently 4 hours and about 45 minutes to 9.5 hours. There's one that's like 5 hours, 30 minutes, 6 hours, 25 minutes. So apparently it all depends upon which airline you're going with. So
interesting.
And then to Jackson, Wyoming, apparently it's about 7 hours, 50 minutes, 8 hours, 35 minutes. So, not too dissimilar of a time, apparently. Though apparently Omaha is a cheaper flight to get on. Maybe that's why Cory is able to go there.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
If it's cheaper, he probably only had enough air miles to get him that far.
Yeah. I mean, pudding only gets you so far, Brett.
Yeah. It is a snack, not a meal.
It is. But speaking of pudding, Brett, let's talk about pudding.
All right.
So, origins of pudding, Brett. The earliest forms of pudding dates back to ancient civilizations, where rudimentary dishes, dish versions were created using basic ingredients like grain, meat, even blood. In ancient Rome, for instance, pudding dishes were prepared using a mixture of eggs, milk, and grain. These early puddings were often savory rather than sweet, and the primary aim of preserving food. So, apparently, pudding has been around for a while, which is not surprising. All right, so Little Cabin in the Woods. The official song that I found is Little Cabin in the Woods. In a cabin in the woods, little man by window stood, saw a rabbit hopping by, knocking at the door. Help me, he said, or the hunter shoot me dead. Little rabbit come inside, safely to abide. Itty bitty cabin in the woods, itty bitty man in the window stood, saw a rabbit hopping by, knocking at the door. Help me, he said, for the hunter shoots me dead. Come, little rabbit, come by. Great big cabin in the woods, great big man by the window stood, saw a rabbit hopping by, knocking at the door. Help me, or the hunter shoot me dead. Come inside, blah, blah, blah. So, no idea who wrote this original song. All I found was the title or the actual lyrics and thought, interesting. So, I have no actual information on going deeper other than just the fact that it's real, Brett. It's real.
It's real. And Eric sang it wrong.
Yes. I mean, if he's singing his version, it saves copyright, I'm assuming.
I'm sure that's why they had him sing it that way. They didn't pay any royalties to someone.
Yeah.
Which means they knew who wrote it.
Probably. All right. Ally McBeal, Brett.
Just like Ally McBeal.
This is literally the description. Follows the personal and professional life of lawyer Ally. That's it. That's all you need to know about it, Brett.
That's all you need to know. All I know beyond that is they had a co-ed bathroom and there was something with a dancing baby fantasy.
Ran for 5 seasons, over 112 episodes from 1997 to 2002. So started after Boy Meets World and ended after Boy Meets World. Starred Callista Flockhart, Greg Gurman, Jane Kurekowicz. And that's the only names I recognize. Oh, Lucy Liu is apparently in it. I feel like that's one of those things growing up in the 90s that you hear about Ally McBeal, but not really knowing anything about it. So, and clearly that description from IMDb was very deep and very helpful to tell us what it's about. But another pop culture reference, Brett, of course, was Face Off.
Ah, yes.
Face Off from 1997. To foil a terrorist plot, an FBI agent assumes the identity of the criminal who murdered his son via facial transplant surgery, but the crook wakes up prematurely and vows revenge. Stars John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. I've never really watched the whole thing, but of the stuff I've watched of it, it is ridiculous in all the good ways.
It is ridiculous in all the best ways.
Like in the 90s, are there 2 actors that are so cheesy that they're the only ones that could have done this movie together, Brett?
I could not think of 2 other ones that could be any more perfect for it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I really couldn't.
I didn't see the release date of that. Oh, June 19th, 1997. So, yeah, 2 things that became super popular right off the bat, and they had to talk about them. I've missed that about Boy Meets World, Brett, where they didn't talk about like pop culture things in a while. So it's fun to be able to get back to pop culture and talking about important things.
Yeah.
Brett, did you know that candles are dangerous?
No.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to learn more and more this season how dangerous they really are.
So dangerous you couldn't even have them on campus.
Oh, yeah. No tea lights, no candles, no nothing. So half of all candle fires start when a flammable piece of decor, including furniture, mattress, bedding, curtains, home decorations, paper, clothing, were too close to a lit candle, and 21% of home candle fires candles were either left unattended, discarded, or otherwise misused. 36% of home fires start in the bedroom, and of those, 10% sleep was a factor. So never leave a burning candle unattended. Never burn a candle on or near anything that might catch fire. And keep candles out of the reach of children and pets. And
That's
definitely, Brett, don't try to touch a candle.
That's right.
Oh, that hot.
Ow, that hot.
All right, Brett, I have the 8 tips for starting retirement.
All right.
So the first tip, Brett, is to expect to go through the stages of emotions. So I would imagine that part of that is like the grief of losing part of who you've been over the years and what it meant to be you and all that jazz.
I would expect
Which I think
that.
is, I think that tends to be the thing that most people don't realize as they retire, of not realizing how much their career and what they do on a daily basis was tied into their job and what they thought of themselves. Structure your day. Don't just wake up whenever you feel like it, Brett. Go do something. Have a plan. Buddy. Oh boy. Kitty cats are moving around and it's making him nervous. All right. 3, set small goals. Grow your friendships. Fair. Consider an encore job. Basically, consider a part-time job you can do afterwards. My uncle had a part-time job for a while. It's always funny to me when someone who's retired says, "Well, I'm going to retire from my part-time job."
Yeah. My grandfather came out of retirement multiple times to work part-time for the company he retired from.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, my grandfather, up until COVID, he was working to maintain the lawns of his the golf course that he lived behind. So, and my grandma would often work in the golf shop. So, they didn't have to; they just chose to.
Yeah.
Create a new budget. Basically, you're not going to get any big amounts of money coming in, so be ready for that. It's okay. You're fine. Schedule volunteer shifts, Brett. There's a big reason why a lot of people in the church are older people, because they got time for it.
Yes, indeed.
All right. And give yourself flexibility to figure it out. I guess after 30 years in your workplace, you finally have time to experiment with what you really want. Fair. So, Brett, those are our deep dives for the week.
All right.
You know anything about the Odyssey? Huh? Did I say you could talk?
I didn't teach you that.
My friend Mr. Matthews will lead the discussion.
Do I have to draw you a picture?
What did we learn this week? Well, my lesson is be sure you're ready to retire. Because you might think you're supposed to, but you might not really be ready to. You might just be ready for something new.
Yeah.
So what'd you learn this week, Tyler, other than not playing with fire?
I would say in transition, be willing to give yourself grace. With Feeney going, he's no longer doing school, with Cory and his crew going to college, with Rachel going back to schooling without her boyfriend, and the boys getting used to having their hot roommate. They're all in transition and they need to be kinder to themselves.
Fair.
Thank you.
Good deal. Well,
I'm right?
No, you're exactly right.
So am I done with my education? Can I go?
how would you grade? Ain't college great?
Okay, Brett, I think we have to do 2 different gradings. How would you grade separately how the show handled college, and how would you grade the message of the episode.
Okay,
I
but
very
still
much
got to
believe
come
those
out
are
with
two
a.
very
There
Yes,
are
of
two
course.
different grades. Still got to come out with one grade for the grade book.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay.
What way's more important is what I keep thinking about.
Well, clearly, how they handled college, I'm going to give a flat out F because they failed on every level for how college actually works.
Yes. Other than the gibberish professors, absolutely got nothing.
Yeah. But how do you grade the rest of the episode, the message and the heart behind it?
I mean, I would grade the rest of the episode at like an A minus. But to tie it all in, it probably would end up going down to like a B minus, in all honesty. Just because of how bad they get college. But for both stories, they do a good job of there's a crisis, there's a problem. How are we going to solve the problem? We solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I do hate the way that Sean treats his best friend, but I'm glad that Feeney is there for Cory, and I'm glad that our very dramatic, sensitive version of Eric is not there.
Yeah. I'm gonna, taking that big F really is a big hit. I'm gonna give it a C plus.
Fair.
I mean, there's some good heart behind it. There's some good life lesson to be learned, but it's not enough to overcome that big of a hit because that's a lot to build your episode on.
It is.
So C plus for me.
Oh, that's fair. I honestly, I could have gone for a C plus if I didn't like the storylines as much,
Mm-hmm.
like specifically the dramatic Eric and.
Oh yes, and that's honestly that part of it is probably kept it up higher than a lower C for me. If it wasn't as strong, if we had last week's Eric and Jack, it probably would have been closer to a D.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Well, I believe you owe me some dad jokes.
Oh crap, I do. I was just trying to find because for whatever reason I can never remember where they have the food fight episode, but I'm gonna have to just wait. Apparently,
I believe it's the next episode.
See, I watched the next episode and it's not because the next episode is where Feeney goes back to school.
Yes, well then
they can only have one thing at a time, Brett.
Yeah, then it must be the one after that because I have watched through the first 9 episodes. I think 8 or 9.
That's the thing. The B plot, the Eric storyline, they could fit almost anywhere.
They could, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Let's see here.
Oh, it's Hogs and Kisses, episode 6.
Okay. Okay, so Professor asks, why do pimples make horrible prisoners?
Why?
Because they keep breaking out. All right, let me see if I can get one more good one. I like this one. I think college athletes, this is before, last year. I think college athletes should get paid to play sports. Except Tennessee. They're volunteers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really can't use that name anymore.
Nope. Oh, fine. I'll do one more, Brett.
Oh, well, I'll take one more.
All right, Brett. My old girlfriend wanted me to do her college algebra homework for her. But frankly, I didn't want to solve for X.
All right. Well, good-looking people, it's been a blast finally getting to college. Send us a message about how you think Michael Jacobs handles college. You can email us at dadsmeetworld@gmail.com or catch us on our social media channels at dadsmeetworld across X, on Instagram, or on Facebook. And you can pick up some sweet Dads Meet World swag at dadsmeetworld.threadless.com. We'll see you next time here at Dads Meet World. But until then, I'll see you good looking.
Back to you, good looking.
You know, how can I learn so much every week and still be so stupid? I want to be normal, spud. Ow, that hot.
Read the Bible.
We are the Timmers.
This is good TV.
Dads Meet World is a production of Headfirst Studios. Headfirst Studios, tell your story.